big one here tonight at the Dome as Jason Ackermanis runs out for his 200th game. It's Essendon against the Brisbane Lions, 4th versus 3rd on the ladder. These two teams do not like each other very much. That is a fact. He's very keen at the moment. He's just engrossed in the game. The start of the match is Jason Ackermanis, his first touch. Beautiful left foot kick from 55 metres, and Aker has started in scintillating style.
It's just a perfect example of the qualities of this young man playing his 200th game. He kicks it on his non-preferred side. That's how good he is. Have a look at this for a left foot drop punt, and have a look at the assistance Bradshaw gives with just a little bit of a block into the back of Fletcher, so Fletcher can't get back to get a hand on it. Wonderful start to the Lions.
Lepic not messing around, gives Aker another go. He can make the ball sit for him on that left side again. This time not much to go to, but Brown is on the right end of it. Good tackle, Bolton, not quite good enough. Brisbane have two.
The big fly behind was Bolton, almost gave away the free. Black
used
again,
the hands, didn't he?
On hands and knees, got it out beautifully. Here's a chance for the Lions. It's Notting. He goes inside 50 to Ackermanis. He'll have to be good here. Oh, he is.
Well, he is a big occasion player.
Notting to Voss. Brisbane on the break. Voss chips it to half forward. Here's a chance now. The big wind up from Chris Scott. He goes for home, and it's another one to the Lions. Welcome back to the big time to Chris Scott.
Brett Allen bouncing the footy perfectly. Charman going early and winning to Voss. Beautiful move to Black. Hasn't had a lot of it early. Brown, ball finding him. Black on the preferred side. It's another one.
To Lappin. Looks for Bradshaw. And on the 4th bite, Bradshaw's finally outmarked Fletcher.
Well, he's had very little of the ball, has Daniel Bradshaw. He has contributed by shepherding well on the goal line twice in the first quarter to keep Fletcher away from the ball.
14
general play, Fletcher's had the better of him.
14 goals for this season, Daniel Bradshaw. It's a helicopter, but it's good enough. It's a goal to Brisbane and a badly needed one at that. And he's got Corrie running wide, and that's where he goes. Fletcher's going to get there. Corrie with courage! Oh. That is courage with a capital C, and Fletcher has put him down.
Fletcher had to go.
Dustin, call for charging as well. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Fletcher has been reported, and that is amazing courage from Anthony Corrie.
It was.
Oh, the trainer gets put down. Now, the trainer's been put down. Was that Peverill? I'm not sure it was.
Yeah.
So Peverill has put the trainer down. And
I want to see this mark again. I don't think Fletcher could pull up.
So Corrie's up. He's pretty ragged, Anthony Corrie, but that was tremendous courage. That's as good as you'll ever see.
Yeah, and you know
he
what?
He knew it was coming, didn't he?
You know what, Steve? I reckon he thought, will I or won't I? I reckon he thought, will I or won't I? And then he went.
Time stood still for a moment. Did you think that, Tim?
Yeah,
definitely.
I'll tell you what, Fletcher's been reported, but let's have another look if we can at this incident with Peverill putting down the trainer. We'll have a look at the Fletcher one first, but you don't see that too often, and that trainer was struggling for 30 seconds or so.
This is the magnificent pickup and acceleration by Chris Johnson. This is the mark. Gee, I don't know if Fletcher can... What do you want, Fletcher just to pull up and jump over the top of him?
There's the trainer getting Peverill out of the way. He was trying to get to it, and Peverill's just put him down, and we understand that Peverill has been reported for that.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. The guy was trying to get to the injured player, and even though probably the trainer did the wrong thing by grabbing him by the jumper, he's trying to get to an injured player. You can't do that.
Interesting too that Lee Matthews said during the week that Essendon is a common denominator in melees.
So all of a sudden, things have hotted up at the Telstra Dome. 2 Essendon players reported.
Have a look at this. Have a look at this. 7 or 8 Brisbane players have gone to young Corrie to congratulate him for his courage. And I tell you what, that shouldn't be reported.
There's not much Fletcher could do,
what's he supposed to do? He can't pull up, he can't jump over him.
Did well. Kept the ball, kept his head. Black to Lappin. Lions on a roll. Corrie again! This time it was Adam McPhee who was outwitted.
Another clearance. Inside 50 he goes. Bradshaw in front of Fletcher. Alistair Lynch, of course, still on the sidelines with that ankle problem. Not much of a run-up from Daniel Bradshaw. And he didn't need it because he slotted it through for his second.
Having a bit of a shot. Miscuing it. Bradshaw dangerous again. Still dangerous. Still Bradshaw. He's kicked 4 for the quarter. McPhee with Voss coming at him. Voss not really putting a major mark on the game until now. That was beautifully done for power. It favours his left foot, and there's another.
How good, Michael Voss. We will see it again. The bump on McPhee gives him time and space to pick the ball up. As he goes to ground, he fires off the handball. Here it comes. Cop that. Gives him a couple of metres. Picks it up at such pace that he can only get the handball away before he hits the deck. And Luke Power, given a little bit of time, able to get around on his preferred boot.
Black. He has had a magnificent quarter.
It wasn't a 50 in the end, by the way.
Black's beyond 20 possessions, and that one is deadly for McLaren, for Bradshaw. He's kicked 5 for the quarter.
And Dylan McLaren would have made Lee Matthews' heart jump into his throat. Have a look how clever he is.
Bit of tunnel ball, but it went straight to Voss. Scott.
Strong mark.
Should have missed from here, directly in front, 20 metres out. And Scott's got 2, and it's the perfect start for Brisbane for the second half.
Allen the hand onto the footy, but Black winning it to Power for another one. Brisbane are getting away.
Bolton knocks it forward. Voss, this is his 7th disposal this quarter. To Power, usually makes them pay. This time he goes short to Brown. He'll have a shot directly in front, kicking from about 47 metres out.
Just dominated this term, the Brisbane Lions. 8 entries into their forward 50 to Essendon's 2.
Sting out of the crowd too, Rob.
Well, you're right. It would be a pro-Essendon crowd. And they're a little bit shell-shocked at the moment. However, in the first quarter, we saw Brisbane jump away, and then Essendon came back and kicked a bundle of goals to get it level pegging once more.
So Brown from right on 50. It's a driving kick, is an absolute beauty. Brisbane further ahead here at the Telstra Dome.
And Brisbane are rolling. Here's Ackermanis again. Here's Voss again. Voss. You need say no more.
That's sublime, isn't it?
Well, we saw that last week at the Gabba, didn't we? Michael Voss taking a ball out on that half-forward flank on the 50-metre line and just bang, putting it through.
And it should be said that Jason Ackermanis leads goal assists in the competition by a long way. There's another.
He does. He just sets his teammates up with creative handball and short passes and subtle little taps.
Long, Scott in front, the spoilers Wellman not in front and centre, and in his 100th game he celebrates with a goal.
Peverill may have hurt himself in that tackle too.
Pike, Scott, centering kick, did the team thing, and Jonathan Brown from point-blank range will go back and kick his third goal for the match. And that's discipline for you, Rob.
Well, just a terrific kick, hooked kick by Chris Scott. We'll see it coming up here.
Scott and Bradshaw raffle it. Bradshaw waits. Fletcher grabbed him when he didn't have it. He's having a horror night.
Give him up the ball.
He was publicly taken to task by Kevin Sheedy a couple of weeks ago and didn't particularly enjoy it.
The countdown clock is broken. In fact, the coaches haven't had the countdown clock, which obviously indicates how much time is left in the game. They haven't had it all night. And the official countdown clock on our telecast has been broken since half-time. That's why he didn't get it late in the third term.
There's a shot of Jarrett Brennan with the big smile on his face. That's because his team's in front, but he'd be a little bit disappointed. He has only played 11 minutes of game time. The young Lion acrobat. He'll get his turn, no doubt. That is the 20th mark that Brisbane's taken in their forward 50.
And Martin Pike drills it home. Brownowskis under pressure to Peverill, who didn't take a backward step. But Daniel Bradshaw is having a night out, and he's going to be lining up for goal number 7.
Well, the Brisbane Lions have basically kept the same six. It hasn't changed since the start of the game.
Lappin into space. Voss with his head over the ball, pushed in the back by Masiti.
And the difference between the two captains, Michael Voss has been rested in each quarter and looks ready to run out this game. James Hird is that exhausted and can hardly get up a sprint.
Voss's kick one. That's a wonderful kick. He's got 2.
Young Corrie. Perfect for McGrath. Considers all the options and decides that this bloke, in his 200th game, deserves a crack at them.
And Jason Ackermanis started so very well. Got a couple of goals early in the game. Peverill's closed him down to a certain extent in the end of the first quarter and the second quarter, but gee, it's been one-way traffic since then.
He kicked 2 brilliant goals in the opening term. He now has 3. His 200th game, a memorable one.
Welsh has been pretty good also for Essendon, but he gave that one up. Oh, look at that for a handball. Nodding to Pike, and Pikey goes bang.
Mark Johnson not messing around, but it's all over. The agony ends for the Dons. We have seen a classic display by the 3-time premiers. They have crunched Essendon by 11 goals.